Hey, what's up? It's Jiggy. Take a look at these new glasses, because they're taking a look at you. This project began when I was taking apart an old laptop. When I removed the LCD screen, I saw that the webcam was really a small piece of hardware on a thin set of wires. It reminded me of a video I saw where someone made a security system by hooking up some webcams to USB cables, which gave me an idea. Strangely though, this Mac webcam only has 3 wires coming out of it. I expected at least 4 for ground, 5 volts, and 2 data cables. But whatever, maybe there's only 1 data signal. Let's try to identify these wires. The easiest one to identify will be the ground, since the copper rings will probably be connected to ground. Let's try the blue first. I think that's the most likely. And it looks like it is in fact ground. But wait, so are the orange and red cables? And actually they're all connected to each other? I don't know what kind of conspiracy is going on here, but I just went ahead and got another one with typical wiring online for like $5. It's a bit bigger, but it should be fine. So let's go ahead and strip the tape off of these cables and cut off the connector at the end to expose the wires. Now when we check for ground, we identify the yellow and green wire. And if we look closely here, we can see the gray wire is labeled 5 volts. Notice how these 2 wires are coiled around each other? They must be the data wires. Remember from physics that a changing magnetic field generates a current in a loop. Coiling the wires prevents any big loops of wire, and the small loops that are created change direction with each loop and cancel each other out. This prevents noise to the data signal. We want to connect these to a USB cable, so let's open one up. We can start by soldering the ground wires together. Then I'll reinforce the connection with some heat shrink tubing. I've soldered the 5 volt connection, but have connected the 2 data wires only with tape. We don't know which is which, so we may have to switch the connections. Let's test it out first. And it looks like we got lucky. The computer recognizes the webcam, and the camera works. I've soldered all the connections and closed the whole thing up with some more heat shrink tubing. Great that the camera works on the computer, but we can't carry that around with us. We'll need the camera to be attached to a smaller device like this Raspberry Pi. It's a microcontroller, basically a small computer that we can program. We need the Raspberry Pi to send data back to our main computer, which can store the video. To do that, we can create a socket connection over the Wi-Fi. Now we could set up the Raspberry Pi to create its own local network, so this would work without Wi-Fi, but I think that overcomplicates the project and distracts from the main idea, as in either case the socket connection would function the same way. I found this server client code on GitHub and modified it slightly for our purposes. If I run the server script on the computer and client script on the Raspberry Pi, we see the camera stream displays on the main computer. And it's even set up to store every 10th image to memory. Okay, now the only thing we really need to do is attach the camera to some glasses. These random knockoff sunglasses probably cost me less than $10 and have a convenient gap in the center. I'll have the camera housed there, and I'll seal the surrounding area with electrical tape. Then I'll use some more tape to attach the wires to the legs? Wait, what the heck are those called? The temples? Oh, this is some Mandela effect stuff right here. Whatever. We'll need to power the Raspberry Pi, and I'm just going to use 3 AA batteries. You could buy a battery pack, but I'm just going to cobble mine together. So now we can see if I plug the camera into the Raspberry Pi, I can just toss it into my back pocket under a sweatshirt. And now, let's try these in action. That's all for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.